Come in, take a chair. What might your name be?
Sarah Williams.
Whereabouts do you live? In this neighborhood?
No, in Hookerville, 7 miles below. I walk all this way and I'm all tired out.
Hungry too, I reckon. I'll find you something.
No, I ain't hungry. I was so hungry I stopped 2 miles before here at a farm. That's what makes me so late. You see, my mom is down and sick and out of money and everything, so I come here to tell my Uncle Abner more. He lives on the upper side of this town. Do you know him?
No, but I don't know everybody just yet. I haven't lived here quite 2 weeks. It's a considerable ways to the upper end of town. You better stay all night. Take off your bonnet.
No, I'll just sleep, I reckon, and then go on.
Did you hear about Huck Finn? He was murdered.
Who done it? We hear considerable about these things in Hookerville, but we don't know who 'twas that killed Huck Finn.
Well, I reckon there's a right smart chance that people here'd like to know. Some reckon old Finn did it himself.
No, is that so?
Everybody thought it at first. He'll never know how nigh he come to being lynched that night. But before they could charge him, they turned around and blamed it on some runaway slave named Jim.
Why,
The slave ran away the very night Huck Finn was murdered. Now they're having a $300 reward out for him.
has everybody quit thinking he done it?
Oh no, not everybody. Some reckon he's still around here, not far, and they'll reckon they'll get him and scare it out of him.
Why, are they after him?
Well, you're innocent, ain't you? $300 isn't just lying around. Some folks still think that slaves are around here, and I'm one of them. The other day I saw some smoke up on Jackson's Island, and I thought to myself he must be up there. So my husband and another fella are going upriver to check it out.
$300 is a power of money, and I wish my mother could get it. Is your husband going up there tonight?
Oh yes, he's going with that man I was telling you about. He's going to get a boat and another gun. They're going to go after midnight.
Couldn't they see better if they was to wait till daytime?
Yes, and couldn't the slave see better too? After midnight he'll likely be asleep, and they can slip up through the woods and hunt up his campfire.
I didn't think of that.
What did you say your name was, honey?
Mary Williams.
Honey, I thought you said it was Sarah when you first came in.
Yes, I did. Sarah Mary Williams. Sarah's my first name. Some calls me Sarah, some calls me Mary.
Oh, that's the way of it?
Yes.
Better keep an eye on those rats. Better have some lead in your lap handy. Come now, what's your real name?
What, ma'am?
What's your real name? Is it Bob, or Tom, or Jim? What is it?
Please, Mom, don't poke fun at a poor girl like me. If I'm in the way here, I'll just...
No, you won't. Sit down and stay where you are. You're going to tell me your name and your secret right now. I won't tell on you nother.
Okay, but you mustn't go back on your promise. My mother and father were both dead, and the law bound me to a mean old farmer. One day, when he left for a little while, I stole some of his daughter's clothes and walked out here, hoping that my Uncle Abner would take care of me. So that is why I struck out for this town of Goshen.
Goshen, child? This ain't Goshen. This is St. Petersburg. Goshen is 10 miles from here. Who told you it was Goshen?
Why, a man I met at daybreak this morning. He told me when the roads fork to take a right and walk 5 miles, and that would take me to Goshen.
He was drunk, I reckon. He told you just exactly opposite.
Well, he did act like he was drunk, but it ain't no matter now. I'd be off. I've got to fetch Goshen before daylight.
Hold on a minute. I'll put you up a snack to eat. You might want it. Say, when a cow's laying down, which end of her gets up first? Answer prompt now. Don't stop to study over it. Which end of her gets up first?
The hind end, Mum.
Well then, a horse?
The forward end, Mum.
Which side of a tree does the moss grow?
North side.
If 15 cows is browsing on a hillside, how many of them eat with the head pointing in the same direction?
The whole 15, Mum.
Well, I reckon you have lived in the countryside. I thought you were trying to hocus me again. What's your real name?
George Peters, Mum.
Well, try to remember it, George, and don't forget and say it's Alexander before you go. And don't try to get out of it by saying it's George Alexander Peters. Now you trot along, Sarah Mary Williams, George Alexander Peters. And if you have any trouble, you call Mrs. Judith Loftus, which is me. I'll do what I can to get you out of it. Keep the river road all the way. And the next time you tramp, make sure to wear shoes and socks. Your feet will be in a condition by the time you get to Goshen.
A video by Jenna Nilsson and Cara Elise.
Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. What might your name be? What might your name?
Sarah Williams.
Whereabouts do you? What might your name be?
Sarah Williams.
Whereabouts do you live? In this neighborhood?
No, in Hookerville, 7 miles below. I walk all this way and I'm all tired out. Oh.
Hungry too, I reckon. I'll find you something.
No, I ain't hungry. I was so hungry I had to stop 2 miles below here on a farm. That's what makes me so late. My mother's down and you're smiling.
Where do you want me to go? Hungry. Stop smiling at me like that. No, but I don't know everybody yet. I haven't lived here quite 2 weeks, and it's a considerable ways to the upper end of town. You better stay all night and take off No, but I don't know everybody just yet. I haven't lived here quite 2 weeks. It's a considerable ways to the upper end of town. You better stay all night.
Kara, it's not that funny.
No, but I don't know everybody just yet. I haven't lived here quite 2 weeks, and it's a considerable ways to the upper end of town. You better stay all night. Take off your Most everybody thought it at first. He'll never know how close he come to being lynched. But before they could charge him, they turned around and blamed it on some slave named Jim.
What?
Most everybody thought it at first. He'll never know how nigh he come to getting lynched. But before they could charge him, the slave turned around and ran away.
Why
The slave... Shit, I don't know my line. Most everybody thought it at first. He'll never know how nigh he come to being lynched. But before they could charge him, they turned around and blamed it on some runaway slave named Jim. He ran away the very night Huck Finn was murdered. Now there's a $300 reward out for him.
I didn't say my line.
Oh, shit. Are you guys done? Say, when a cow gets up...